On to part number 2. I mean, why is Trump pushing this? Is the real big question, right? You might be thinking, hold up, I thought Trump was anti-establishment. Unfortunately, you're wrong, and everything he's doing is proving that. But here's the thing. Trump isn't just fighting Democrats, he's fighting for dominance. And that includes dominance over the global financial system. Because as you may have seen with tariffs and everything that's going on, it's very obvious. Because his advisors believe the US digital dollar is the only way to maintain the dollar's global supremacy. But here's the part that should scare you. Imagine a future where your tax refund is only issued in CBDC, but you can't spend it on things like firearms, political donations, or crypto because the code behind the money says no. Or my favorite.
When it comes to taxes being issued in CBDCs, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think that's true. Again, stablecoin cash is going to be the new thing. Of course, the US had to go digital because everywhere else in the world is going digital. If you go on YouTube and you look up how much countries are going digital, you would see that we have to go digital. He's not doing it for just shits and giggles. No, the whole world is going digital. When it comes to bringing about a stable coin that is a US stable coin to represent the US money, yes, he has to go that route. Because if they want to stay in the game, they have to have their chess piece on the board. That's why. Because everywhere around the world is doing that. Nowhere around the world wants to use the US dollar anymore. The US dollar is worth nothing. But again, if these folks go and do their research properly, they would understand that. The US dollar is worth nothing. The US dollar is responsible for bringing about poverty in so many different countries. It is ridiculous. And I know this firsthand. I am a first generation West Indian, okay? I know about this firsthand. The US dollar created poverty in my parents' country. Why would countries still want to use the US dollar when the US is printing the money out of oblivion? I mean, come on, man. Like, people gotta wake up and understand what's going on. Stop only looking at the US. Look outside the US and see what other countries are doing. Other countries are already doing this. Other countries are already going cashless and they're going totally digital. We have to do it because if we don't, who are we going to do business with? I mean, let's get back to the video.
Favorite. Let's say you criticize the government online and suddenly your digital wallet is frozen. No court hearing, no appeal, just silence. Listen, this isn't a movie. This is real technology and it's already being tested. I tried to warn everybody about FedNow last year. Everybody's like, it's not a big deal. Everybody's like, oh, nothing happened, Mike. Oh, it's still moving. Let's move on to part number 3. What happens if you ignore this? Let me be 100% clear. If you do nothing and you let this rollout happen unchecked, here's what you're handing over. Your spending history, your financial privacy, and 100% control over your own money. The days of pulling $200 from your ATM without permission will be completely gone. No more buying what you want, when you want, with no eyes on you. Instead, every purchase becomes a data point. Every transaction is another way to rate you, rank you, and potentially restrict you. And here's the biggest problem.
Okay, it is very obvious that this guy doesn't really know too much. Your spending history, you don't have control over that. Your spending history, the banks has your spending history stored on their database. How do you think people get caught all the time for doing illicit activities through their bank account? It's because of your history from your bank. Again, your bank account is a ledger for you to, but it's for you. And it is also something that the bank holds as records of what you spend. It's basically like a public-private ledger for you. It's private for you, but it's public when the FBI wants to get into your shit, okay? Or the bank wants to see what you're spending your money on. Or the government wants to see what you're spending your money on. Whoever it is that is in the law if you want to say it like that, right? They can get into your account and see what you're spending. They can look at your whole spending history. So you've been lost that once you started using a bank account. Financial privacy. Again, you can tell that he doesn't really know and understand because just, I believe it was last year or maybe in 2023, where they fought to keep spending, they fought to keep financial privacy with the digital assets private. Now, from what I remember, the Democrats wanted it to be something where it is not private. And you had the Republicans fighting against it, saying, no, it should be private. Your spending should be private. Now, it is private when you're using stablecoin cash. Because again, the way how digital wallets are going to work is just like having a wallet right now, today, a physical wallet. These leather foldable things that you take cash and put it into, right? Digital wallets are going to be the same. You're not going to be able to see what people have in their digital wallet. However, you're going to be able to see what people have in their bank accounts. So stablecoin cash is the new cash. They're not going to really be able to track that too much, right? I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Because again, the Republicans has fought to make that possible. Obviously, he doesn't know that. Control over your own money. Again, we're back to this. You never had control of your own money once you put your money in the banks. You never had control. You stop having control. Once your money is in the bank, you don't control your money. The banks control all of it. They give you access to your money. They give you permission to use your money. You don't have control over it. Because if you want to go to the bank right now and you want to take out $10,000, they're going to be asking you a whole bunch of questions. Does that sound like you have control over your own money? No. The banks would allow a credit agency to debit your account without notifying you. Does that sound like you have control over your own money? I mean, there's a lot of examples that you can point to prove that no one had control over their own money to begin with. The banks custody your money, and we all have been put into this system without even knowing that. What digital assets do, when you invest in these digital assets, for example, XRP, XLM, XDC, SHX, HBAR, when you invest in those assets, you put yourself outside of the banking system. You put yourself in control of your own money. Because again, there's a difference between money and there's a difference between cash. There is cash money, and then there is money that the bank has. There's banking money, and then we have digital money. All this time we've been using digital money. Your debit card, your credit card is digital money. But everybody's getting all confused and lost and scared about this new digital money. Hello, people, wake up. You've been using digital money all this time. Stop it already.
Once the system is in place, you can't opt out. Cash will be gone. Paper bills, history, privacy, a relic of the past.
This is very laughable. They rate you right now. That's what a fucking credit score is. They rank you right now. That's what a fucking credit score is. Restrict you. What you think the fucking fraud on your account is? It's a way to restrict you. That's what that is. I mean, this stuff has been going on all the time. They track what you spend on already. I mean, yo, this is crazy. This guy, he calls himself Mike the credit guy. But bro, credit is digital money, and credit is owned by the bank. Like, it's digital money.
How to protect yourself now. So the big question is, what can you do? So let's talk solutions, because there are ways to protect your financial freedom. Step one, I've been saying this in shorts and people are not paying attention. Diversify. Don't keep all your money in one account, especially with major banks that will be the first to adopt the CBDC. Spread it. Local credit unions, business accounts, and trusted fintechs. Step number two, convert a portion of your cash into hard assets. I'm talking about gold, silver, and even Bitcoin, but not on centralized exchanges. Cold wallets only and always. And step three, open a business account with platforms like Bluevine. They offer better control and often fly under the Fed radar longer. And step 4, you need to stay informed. Of course, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, because we are not waiting around for CNN or Fox News to break the story when it's already too late. And step 5, you need to educate your family, your spouse, your kids, your business partners. Make sure they're not sleepwalking into a digital slavery. So what's the real hidden agenda? Well, let me tell you what the dirty secret behind this whole system is. The government is broke. Understand this. 35 trillion in debt, and the only way out is going to be control. They can't tax you fast enough with paper cash, but digital currency, that's different. Auto-deducted taxes, negative interest rates, spending limits on savings to stimulate the economy, and it won't stop with Trump because other presidents also support it. So do major banks, and so does the World Economic Forum.
So now he's giving everyone pointers or tips on how to protect yourself. But this is how you know that this guy doesn't know what's really going on. He's pointing out credit unions and he's pointing out trusted fintech companies and to spread your money into different accounts. Well, guess what, buddy? All of the accounts that you're telling people to use, they are already hooked up and signed up with crypto blockchain companies. All of those different things that you just named. Diversify your money. There's no way to diversify your money. Not even if you was to buy physical gold. You buy physical gold, you're basically putting yourself in such a fucking problem. It's not even funny. If you're going to do anything, you should invest in the digital assets. That's what you should do. Whether it be Bitcoin, whether it be XRP, whether it be SHX, whether it be HBAR, whether it be XPR, because XPR is actually one of the crypto blockchain companies that has about, I believe is something like 130 credit unions already. So you could diversify your money, but guess what? Your money is still going to be running on the blockchain because XPR already has dealings with, like I said, I believe it's about 130. It could be more, it could be like 98 to about 130 credit unions already. So, I mean, good luck with that. Fintech companies are financial technology companies. They're already using the blockchain technology. I mean, that's why it's called financial technology, fintech. Again, people don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, stay informed and subscribe to his channel. I don't think so because he doesn't know what he's talking about. If you want to stay informed and you want to know, you subscribe to this channel because I'm going to give you the real of the real. I'm going to tell you what it is and what it's really not. This guy doesn't really know what he's talking about. Some of the things is like, yeah, but at least 85% of the things he's saying, he doesn't know what he's talking about fully because he's going off of what he saw on Google and he's going off of what he might have read maybe on certain websites, right? Because he has talked about FedNow and obviously these people don't know what FedNow is. FedNow is not using CBDCs. They're not. FedNow is going to be using stablecoin cash. FedNow is running on XLM and FedNow is running on XPR. Both of those blockchains are going to be helping FedNow. And both of those blockchains has stablecoin cash. Because again, regular folks are not going to be spending XLM and XPR from FedNow. No, they're going to be spending the stablecoin cash that both of these blockchains has running on them. But you would only know that if you really understood the technology and really knew what you were talking about. You really did research. Actually, if you want to know, you could come and listen to my channel. So I invite you, Mike the Credit Guy, I invite you to come over and listen to my videos. You would get a better understanding and a better idea of what's actually really going on. Anyway, I'm done with this video for today. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Thank you for tuning in to Urban Ave Crypto. I'm Thomas Bain. I'm going to catch you on the next one. I'm out of here.